The mother and daughter team here at Pondicheri are treating New Yorkers to a lighter and more flavorful version of Indian food than most of us have ever had before, right here at 27th and Broadway in Manhattan.
So I fell in love with food when I was 13. When I had to get into the kitchen, my mom was sick, so it's like, okay, cook. And it was great, it was fun, but then my parents did not want me to go to cooking school. It's like not in our culture. Came to the US.
And you found out Indian food was a little bit one note, and you had some new ideas.
I just thought Indian food has the same depth and complexity that any other cuisine that you think is great. So I wanted to show that, and then opened my first place in 2001 at Houston, Texas. Great fun, a lot of work.
Ajna, what was it like growing up with a mom who was constantly tinkering in the kitchen?
It was amazing. I think by the time I got to college, I realized, wow.
And you were a big part of the reason why Mom ultimately opened this restaurant here in New York.
Yes. Started in architecture, and then I moved to acting, and I told my mom I'm moving to New York.
And we were like, what, acting? So here we are, she's an amazing actor.
And now restaurateur, so everything now.
My mom would send me a care package. You moved to New York and opened a restaurant for her. That's what we
Indian
call
mother
a good
for you.
mom.
That is an Indian mother.
What is it like working in the kitchen together?
Okay. It can be pretty bad.
I was gonna say, that laugh said it all.
Yes. She made chocolate chili cookie dough ice cream. I'm like, that sounds terrible. She's like, it's so good.
I don't know, that sounds pretty good, Mom.
What we do agree on is that there's so much love between us that everything else is just gravy.
So we know you can have an amazing eating experience any time of day at Pondicheri. New Yorkers love their breakfast sandwiches, breakfast tacos and burritos, and you guys have the breakfast Frankie.
Frankie, yeah, it's Mumbai street food. We put scrambled eggs with a masala with peppers and chutney on top.
And the roti that is wrapped around the eggs may be the most craveable part. It's kind of like better than a tortilla, dare I say.
Yes,
totally.
At lunch, you're putting a wildly creative and flavorful spin on the New York City hot dog, and you're calling it the Slum Dog.
The Slum Dog. So the hot dog is just a fried chickpea fritters, tamarind, cilantro chutney, pickled onions, pickled cucumbers in a pumpkin bun. It's delicious.
The best way to approach dinner has to be the thali plate. Two of the most famous are Ocean, which has octopus, and another one is the Texan, which has masala fried chicken.
The best fried chicken you'll ever eat. I'm not kidding you.
One thing you could eat all day at Pondicheri are dosas. And while you have a lot of varieties, the green dosa may be the most special because, Mom, you created it, and Ajna, you perfected it.
I basically took what she gave me on a platter and just amped it up. At first, she was like, what did you do?
Then I ate it, it was delicious. I'm like, okay, this is gonna stay.
And if there's one thing I'm most excited about after this conversation, it's seeing how you guys work together in the kitchen.
Okay, let's go.
Let's do it. Well, I'm ready to make my first dosa, and we can't have a dosa without the batter. It has rice flour, it has lentils, and it has a superfood, millet.
Yes.
It's not that circular, but hey, geometry, not my strong suit. This is why I went into food. Now comes the famous pumpkin seed chutney, and you don't want to be skimpy. Time to get crazy with our avocado. Ajna's contribution, kale, spinach, collard greens, and mango. Here we go, coming in for landing, my first dosa. And now what do I have to do to eat this?
Dig your hands into it.
Yeah,
Hands, my favorite utensils. Wow. That is a true flavor trip. The bright mustard seed coming through the greens, which just pops in the biggest way. There's spice from the chutney. It's incredible.
Thank you.
Whether you're an Indian food expert or someone who's never had it before, Pondicheri is the place to come and introduce yourself to the new flavors of Indian food. Just make sure I'm not the one making your dosa.